Hello.
Oh,
We're back from the abyss. Today is a very quick day. We're getting a lot of crushing results.
Oh, yeah,
Rain,
ridiculous.
37 frags, 10 deaths, 37 frags in 22 rounds on train. Absolutely schooling VP. They couldn't do anything. I mean, as far as analysis goes, it's hard to really do a lot of analysis when just one. Well, I mean, they just crushed VP. VP couldn't try anything really. Nothing was working. So I mean, what from the limited analysis here, you know, what have you guys got for me?
Rain's good at train.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
And it rhymes, which is always nice. it's
yeah.
pretty much it. We've seen it in the past. Rain on the sort of 1v4 clutch. I still remember that crazy push coming in. Not quite the whole map. He didn't do it like that last time, but this time it was just him styling. He was able to do whatever he wants. They weren't trading, so you have to.
Yeah.
You always, when you have big plays, you give props to the player who's doing the plays, but you have to take something away from Virtus.Pro. If someone's getting a 3K or a 4K against you every single time, you are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he can have phenomenal aim. You should be trading that kill out. So definitely something in the sort of online Virtus.Pro once again. I think we're using that excuse a little bit too much, but that was not a good performance from them. And the only real player that I think was any good was actually byali, and that was right towards the depths. He was just trying to save them from getting trounced by even more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just generally quite hopeless. Virtus.Pro are a good team at bouncing back, though. But let's quickly look at the stats, actually. I mean, it was a pretty straightforward matchup, but let's have a look at all the stats there and just, I don't know, just bask in the glory of what Rain has accomplished in this matchup, because he's got he's posted some pretty significant numbers, as you can see. ADR 176.
It was even higher than that in the first half as well. I think he slowed down a little bit towards the end. I think when we last looked towards 15, it was some like 220 something. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, at the end of the first half, he had a 222 average damage per round. Dropped off a little bit towards the end when they switched out onto the T side. It did kind of fall off a little bit. He struggled a little bit more.
Until the last round.
Yeah, then he came into it in a huge way, kind of found his footing once again, yeah. The other thing is, I mean, I don't feel like you can necessarily detract too much from all the FaZe's performance. You had Keo over towards the B site, who was a really solid anchor, chimed in every now and again with, 2 or 3Ks of his own. As well as that, a couple of other players that spring to mind would be the likes of allu with the AWP coming in. He had a few 2 or 3Ks
aizy as well with the secondary opening pick. I think he got it like 3 or 4 times, just peeking Ivy very aggressively.
Yeah, going aggressively.
And there were no counter nades or anything from VP to really deal with that. I think the only time they won that duel was pasha just went for a really overzealous peek, and aizy didn't catch him that time. So yeah, there was players all across the board, but Rain definitely tops that board by quite a margin.
It is interesting, just generally how, I mean, Jacob in his interview said how well they match up against Virtus.Pro. And statistically, across all the games they have played, they do match up very well. Virtus.Pro do end up losing most of them, and they have generally a hard time posting rounds. And seemingly, like, dealing with the individual skill of FaZe seems to be a problem for Virtus.Pro, which is quite interesting, as Virtus.Pro can be a well-beaten type team. And moving into the next map, Overpass, actually, these two teams have never played an Overpass. They've never played an Overpass in all the stats that I've looked at. There's not been an Overpass before. And obviously the way it works in this league, in ECS, is you have a home and away system. So this is the home map for Virtus.Pro, which means that FaZe were able to veto 2 maps, and they vetoed Cobble and they vetoed Nuke. And there is the Overpass pick. So in most veto systems, I imagine that they were able to make it so there was no Overpass.
Yeah.
But historically, it used to be a great map for like the old Kingwin lineups. They were very good on the CT side. They could just sit there and aim. Back in the Scream days, they were quite good there. But the team has changed quite a lot since then. But we do have allu now. Do you think that allu is going to help shore up Overpass, or do you think Virtus.Pro can really get going here? Because they are a great Overpass team.
Well, I mean, the AWP is something that can play into Overpass in such a big way. I mean, even on a double AWP setup on the CT side, you could use it to shut down mid. You could use it to kind of shut down the B long area with the aggressive plays, spot out anyone playing the lurk role, because quite often you do have it where if they're heading over towards A, they'll leave a guy, over towards the T spawn, just to kind of try and watch out over towards the long angle of B in case anyone goes aggressive. You can use the AWP to pick that. You can go out mid with it. So I think allu's going to be quite versatile on that map and how he can play. I think we'll probably see quite a few frags from him in that regard, or on the side of aizy, because we did see him picking up the AWP as well in the secondary, as Tom pointed out. And I mean, if Rain keeps having a good game, then it's going to bode well for him there. But VP do fare fairly well on Overpass too. So I mean, I'd say this one is a good shot for VP to try and make their way back into this. The issue is as you said, statistically, FaZe do match up against VP extremely well. So yeah, it's always something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, are you on board with this? I mean, because I personally on board with this as well. I think Virtus.Pro have a very, very good shot at resetting and having a good
as
game.
you said, I think the reason that they haven't matched up on it is because FaZe haven't wanted to match up on it. I think the second that 2 veto system come in, like, I can't really fault them for the bans that they made. Of course, Cobblestone, a map that Virtus.Pro have gone leaps and bounds. Obviously, the last couple of days they've been a bit shaky on it, but I still feel like they would be very good on Cobble if it had come up. And then Nuke, if you don't play Nuke, you just don't go anywhere near it. That's not a good idea. So in terms of the bans, that's expected. And then I think the obvious pick for Virtus.Pro is Overpass. If you see that FaZe don't really play it too much, I do definitely agree. I think allu could be a huge factor, especially if he's going for that aggressive peak in mid, early doors, sort of like jumping up on the bench, going to try and find that first frag. If he's able to do that and you have a man advantage on FaZe, that's where I think maybe VP will struggle a little bit. But if VP starts CT and just get rolling, the plow could come in and then anything could happen.
All right, well, it is time to wrap up the analysis here and see whether or not Virtus.Pro can bring it back. Of course, first, actually, maybe I'm a little bit too premature there. I just want to get the break in. But the head-to-head there, Rain, and of course, you can see byali, the 2 performers. And you can see that, well, to be fair, Rain, the rest of his team were actually around byali's performance because he was basically sucking up all the frags, I suppose. But yes. We have to see a performance from pretty much everybody in Virtus.Pro. pasha can often get, when he gets going on this map with the AWP, actually, that helps them a lot when he starts to get that freedom, especially making those aggressive moves. And I do wonder if there is somewhat of a mental block when it comes to FaZe and wanting to get aggressive against FaZe. Because if you feel like FaZe are weak strategically, weak tactically, and they're just strong hitters, you just want to you want to force them to run the set piece. You know, force them into these spots where they're not supposed to be good at that, so we'll just sit back and defend. But if they're also hitting shots there, you know, where do we find themselves? Where do they find themselves? But that is a question that we will answer very shortly because it is time for a quick break. Then we'll be back very promptly with Virtus.Pro versus FaZe on Cobblestone. Not Cobblestone,
Welcome back to FACEIT TV and of course ECS. We are going into our 4th map of European Counter-Strike. Of course, we've just witnessed pretty much 3 blowout maps. First 2 in the favor of Envy. Now we look at, well, FaZe doing the same. They're going on to their 2nd map overall, and are VP going to bounce back?
Yeah, no, that is the big question. We've already seen FaZe have a phenomenal first map. More specifically, Rain have a phenomenal first map. He played incredibly well, finishing off 37-10, which is insane to say the least. So let's see if we can continue that into map number 2. It is going to be Overpass, and well, it's fairly exciting, not to be confused with Cobblestone. So yeah, no, Dan was
not Cobble,
a little bit off the mark with that one, but yeah, no, it was all good. So you know, what do you think about the Overpass kind of matchup that we've got?
Well, in terms of Overpass, I do think it's definitely favoring VP, just overall. But the way they've been playing recently, you sort of look towards like how they played not only on Cobble, they didn't do particularly well, they didn't do well at WSG, they're now online, and everything sort of leans towards, okay, really, maybe FaZe can actually take this over and get the 2-0. Now, this would be great in terms of the leaderboard. Of course, VP starting their day off at the top. They have lost their first game, and I think this is only their 2nd loss overall in the last few games that they've had. The only problem is now they go on to a map that they are much, much stronger on at the moment.
Yeah, that is something kind of stand testament to, I suppose. And as Dan said, I mean, they haven't played on this map before versus the FaZe lineup. So it's going to be interesting for everyone involved, not just us watching, but also for the teams themselves. It's a very interesting prospect to have never seen, you know, 2 teams going head-to-head on a map like this. I mean, it's I mean, obviously they have when they're in separate lineups and stuff. But I mean, since kind of being under these team names with the lineup on the side of FaZe, this is the first time they're going to be going head-to-head. So it is extremely exciting to see.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we're going to be going into this one relatively shortly. Now, in terms of how this needs to start, I think FaZe do want to get off to that CT start, get themselves rolling strong, and I think allu getting on the AWP early is going to be an important factor. Now, of course, Dan sort of mentioned the fact that in the past they have been able to hold back and actually do really well in terms of, like, just basically playing the CT side well. The only problem is it's going to be a bit more difficult. This is VP. They're very good at this map in general.
Yeah, no, definitely so. But we're going to heading into the pistol round now, and well, FaZe sending everyone out through mid now, making their way over towards the kind of park area, heading up towards Party as well, trying to add some pressure over towards Long on the side of kio. You'll be seeing him in towards mid, trying to make his way out there now. pasha is going to be the one in towards Toilets, trying to hold this back. Not going to be able to find anyone just yet, and NEO in towards Long. Looking like he might be able to spot out a couple of players sooner rather than later. as they make their way up long, looking to try and take a chunk out of A.
Yeah, Rain, of course, on the Deagle. Now, there's not many players who do go for the Deagle in the pistol round. On the T side, we see it a little bit more. I think kioShiMa's definitely one for it, and Nico, of course, as well. So maybe he'll be able to pull off something with the range. It is going to be the peak coming out at the moment. TaZ is going to try and spam away and hasn't been able to find anything as of yet. There's a lot of players there, and actually peeks out, finds the bomb carrier. Of course, it will be quickly picked back up by allu, so not too much of a problem. And more the T's, they've decided it's not worth it challenging that USP, and they've fallen all the way back, but it doesn't matter. pasha has already found another one, looking for a little bit more. allu's going to go pushing onto him. Should be able to take this frag and at least bring it a little bit close.
Yeah, it's going to go into a 3-on-3, but as jkaem finds 2 frags, he could try and 1-8 on the spot, but Snax is there. Chimes in with 2 of his own, and now it's all on Rain. 1 versus 2. Snax and Neo still left to find. He does have a Deagle in hand, probably the least ideal weapon you would want in this scenario. Going to get tagged down to 12 HP. They know where he is. Does spot out Neo. Looks a little bit curious on the peak. Finds that first frag. Now it's all on Snax. 73 HP left on the Polish player, trying to make his way around over towards the A site for a little bit of a flank, but Rain's read it very well, does the damage, has to reload, goes out for the peak, just shot him. He's still reloading, but he's going to be trying to get the information. Fake flash goes out, and Rain does it with the Deagle. 2 frags to his name, and secures the pistol round on the board for FaZe.
Oh, he's not done, I guess. He's not done after the first map. Wins a 1v2 clutch. It is one of the weapons where you go, do you know what? You don't want a Deagle in a clutch situation. You don't want it in a position where it's sort of going to be one of those 1 versus 1s or possibly a 2v1 if they peak together. Instead, he gets the individual duels and he finds both players, actually with body shots mostly. So quite surprising overall. And, well, nice shot for the end, at least on the head. And that will leave VP with a round that they probably should have won. Either way, it is going to be the Deags, 3 of them at least, over onto Virtus.Pro, and they will force into this one.
Yeah, trying to replicate the success of Rain in the previous round by the looks of things. 3 Deagles on the cards for VP. A scout up on pasha and the CZ on TaZ. Trying to go for the close range superiority there as he makes his way in towards connector. aizy is here and well within distance of trying to spot out these 2 players. Does get some information as to where, as to the whereabouts of TaZ and Snax, and well, does a little bit of damage as well. It's going to be, for the meantime, just trapped down here. Meanwhile, FaZe are going to be sending 3 players in towards long and mid. They also have a lurk in the form of kio over towards that B site.
Yeah, we are looking, of course, towards the T's in their positions. As you said, aizy, well, he's a little bit low, 12 HP. And the push will be coming back round towards that B site. In fact, there are quite a few players over there, and the position at the moment from Snax is going to make things a little bit more interesting in terms of the aggression. He'll find one. I don't know if he realizes there's a whole team waiting for him on the other side as Rain will trade things back.
Yeah, it's going to go to a 4-on-4. TaZ with the CZ on site, trying to find some damage. Takes down aizy, puts it into a 3-on-4. Byali as well with the Deagle in hand, trying to chime in with one of his own, but can't quite get it to connect. pasha is going to be coming up huge. 2 frags with that scout, leaving it all on allu in a 1 versus 3. He's got lots of heads to find and only 10 seconds left to do it, and he's going to get tagged down low, and then Neo to finish off with the Deagle. That was an incredible round there from Virtus.Pro to deny FaZe from picking up a 2nd on the board.
Yeah, at least they get the bounce back. After that pistol round, we were sort of saying to them, it is one of those positions where they needed to try and come back straight away. They don't want to give away anything over towards FaZe and let them get a good start like they did last time. In fact, now it will be VP to get themselves an extra rifle as well. They have the UMPs in play to make some cash. And, well, back on the other side of things, it's the pistols. But look at the nade damage already. allu and aizy going to take a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, that's less than ideal. They're going to be relegated as well, stuck in towards top mid, and well, finally now starting to make their way through and in towards this A site, slowly but surely trying to kind of make their way up through toilets. There are 2 players here for the side of VP to try and hold them back. pasha and Snax with these SMGs. Well, Snax is going to have his head caved in, and that's going to be him going down. jkaem trying to find a 2nd as well, but pasha running back with the scout in hand. They do grab a UMP on the back of jkaem and pick up the 1-man advantage by taking down Snax. In toilets, they have to rotate a player in from B as well to help deal with the threat that is FaZe as they make their way in towards this A site.
Yeah, it will be Neo looking for the spam. They've already got the first kill onto Snax, and there's another. pasha is going to be taken down as well. It's looking like we may get a backwards and forwards game. After all, Neo will be bringing things back to a 3-on-3 at least, as TaZ has another to the pain train, but it will be jkaem to quickly trade, and it's TaZ looking to try and flank here. Needs to get this kill, and he goes so low that jkaem gets an easy frag and switches to the deagle. This time, it's not Rain, it's jkaem. 4 kills for him, and they get themselves another round on the board.
Yeah, and I mean, just what an insane display of marksmanship there from jkaem to pick up 4 frags on the back of the deagle. Or, you know, starting it off with the deagle to pick up the first couple and then switching out to the UMP, putting that to good use, picks up the last 2 players. But yeah, no, just a phenomenal round there from FaZe to get themselves back in it. VP, they're going to be buying up, as you would expect. 2 scouts, a deagle, and then 2 CZs on the side of Virtus.Pro. They force buy up, try and take the round back off of FaZe, but this time it's going to be going the way of FaZe early on. aizy finds that first frag out on a Snax, takes him down in connector, and wins control of connector for the T side. As a result, they can rotate swiftly between the A and B sites. pasha in towards long with the scout in hand. Finds some good damage out of jkaem. Now looking to fall on back and escape with his life. Does have Neo on site to help him trade into this. And while Neo with the scout in hand as well, it's like a budget AWP combination, just laying down the hurt on long.
Yeah, of course. On the rest of the players, though, for FaZe, this is where things has got a little bit more difficult. They have 4 rifles on the board, ready to try and trade back the kills that are currently in this round. Of course, aizy currently holding quite a passive angle, but just waiting to see if anybody will go for the push through the smoke. Of course, Neo with the scout, looking to try and do at least some tag damage. jkaem has been brought down to just 31 HP, but pasha is on a similar standpoint at the moment. They have the double scouts. Every tag is going to help out with the CZs as well, and now they're going to push into Neo. He finds one. He grabs the second as well, looking for a little bit more. Maybe not done quite yet. There is aizy. Doesn't quite manage to capitalize, and it's onto byali. They've dropped a lot of rifles. They've done a lot of damage, but this was a force buy. They want to win the round.
Yeah, they're going to be going for it. byali coming in from behind with the CZ. Finds himself on 1-on-2. Picks up the frag on a kio. Now he's just to worry about aizy. aizy being 29 HP as well is going to throw a spanner in the works here. byali rushing into the site. Finds the frag. And there we go. It's the second round on the board for VP. They win it back, and it's just been back and forth. As we head now into the 5th round, it's going to be 2-2 in FaZe. They're going to be buying up once again. Both teams just buying down till one wins 2 in a row.
Yeah, this is ridiculous at the moment. Bomb plant, of course, for FaZe will give them a bit of a better avenue than we saw on the VP side of things in the previous round, but this is ridiculous. The amount of damage that was done from Neo with these scouts, just catching off players left, right, and center, kills one here, and then manages to follow up with the second onto jkaem and byali at the end as well. These shots with the CZ, I genuinely don't know how people do this. I cannot use this weapon at all.
No, I know. He made me moist, to say the least. But yeah, it's going to be a 2-2 scoreline now as we head into round number 5.
Edge this
FaZe are going to be FaZe are going to be buying on up, as you would expect. They got plenty of money on the back of the bomb plant as well. You're seeing a pause coming in, and I'm sure we'll be finding out if that's a tactical or a technical any minute now. It wouldn't surprise me if it's some sort of a technical pause potentially, as it would give both of these teams some time to kind of compose their thoughts and try to orchestrate that into being able to succeed in taking 2 in a row.
Yeah, of course, that's the main aim of the game at the moment. I do think that in terms of the Force by Saga, although it seems to be fairly even at this point, you have to remember that it is a CT-sided map, so FaZe are not going to be too, well, phased, excuse the pun, and, well, they're going to have to try and continue this one on in this round at least. Of course, if VP can eventually break them, it may be the momentum that they need to get themselves the decent buy on the board. Of course, at the moment we are in a little bit of a pause, and we're waiting to see what the sort of problem is. It seems like it's nothing too major, and in terms of the buy, we will actually have 3 rifles and a couple of Deegs on the board for FaZe, so not even that much of a worse buy.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have got 2 AKs up and a Galil on the side of FaZe, like you said, and the 2 Deagles as well. I mean, kio has proven that he can do some amazing stuff with the Deagle, as has jkaem, as we saw in the second round into this. So, they're making their way in towards the B site, sending all 5 members of FaZe Clan very, very fast and aggressive early on. allu and aizy looking like they want to try and make their way out long. TaZ going to be playing aggressively on short. They find the first, going to be going for the second as well, but kio returns it, puts it back into a 4-on-4. Neo, though, who's gone aggressive into connector, backed up by pasha as well. There's so many members of VP here to try and shut this down. jkaem's going to fall, but kio's there to return. byali comes in from short, though, chimes in with a frag of his own, puts it back into a 2-on-2. The kill's just going back and forth, but the bomb is down and out over towards short. pasha finding that one in allu has made it that much harder for the 12 HP aizy to try and get back into this.
Maybe this will finally be it. Of course, he's got plenty of time to play with. That's the one benefit at the moment for aizy. but he does have very little HP to play with. Doesn't quite manage to spot out pasha, who is playing quite a passive angle. Both of them on identical HP. The only difference is Snax is still in play, and he's going to be the biggest factor at the moment. pasha waiting around the corner. He's actually going to maneuver himself back towards the water tunnel, and, well, the smoke is actually going to save him from being peeked. aizy, he wants to try and find this 1 versus 1, and actually he may find him from behind, but eventually pasha does push in and catches him.
Yeah, so there we go. It's going to be VP to win 2 in a row, and as a result, the economy of FaZe Clan is going to be wavering. They're going to be having to double down and just go for the eco into this one, biting the bullet, and as a result, it should allow VP to potentially pick up a 4th on the board.
Yeah, and well, that's the crunch time problem really now for FaZe. You have to mention the factor that they're the ones who got reset, they're the ones that took the hit, and now they're the ones that we're going to see the sort of continue going on. Nice little bit of damage coming out. pasha is going to spray away and actually finds the first kill with the nade. Of course, there is a little bit more. Another nade kill comes in with Neo grabbing the second, and it's looking like these pistols are being shut down. jkaem, however, has managed to get a rifle, and he has been a pinnacle player so far in this game. aizy is going to go for the pick, and, well, spamming away, missing quite a few shots, and eventually will be dual peeked by the VP side.
Yeah, that's going to allow them to secure round number 4 on the board. Currently 2 rounds ahead of FaZe, and while they're finally able to buy on up on the side of the terrorists, they are going to be having 5 AKs across the board. Good bit of utility, but a little bit lackluster on Rain and Ollie. But other than that, everyone else buying up pretty much everything they would need. Plenty of smokes to try and execute out onto a site. Wouldn't surprise me if that's what we end up seeing. They do have 5 smokes to facilitate it. Meanwhile, they're going to be heading out mid aggressively early on. Snax here with the AWP might be able to open things up for the side of VP.
Yeah, of course, we do look towards Snax at the moment with this AWP. It was mentioned before that sometimes it's picked up by pasha when he has the sort of confidence to do so, or in certain circumstances. At the moment, it is just a single AWP on Snax, and as said, he is sort of the primary AWP. pasha is going to take a very aggressive position now. This is one that can either pay off wonderfully or he instantly falls, and a lot of it will rely on the support he gets from byali. There goes the aggressive peek though. Snax, he'll find the first and just fall back, looking to take a different angle, looking to take a different challenge, and look at pasha, goes peeking, finds the first, looking for the second, but jkaem very quick to trade, giving it a 4v3 in favor of the Poles.
Yeah, they have the 1-man advantage. FaZe, they have to try and play off of the disadvantage they're in right now. Snax going aggressively to toilets, does grab 1 frag out and aizy. It's going to further cement this round away on the board for Virtus.Pro. jkaem and kio, the last 2 hopes alive. Well, FaZe Clan trying to make their way over towards A, still dedicated to this. byali, though, coming in from behind, and Snax up ahead are going to prove to be real problems that they have to try and overcome. kio finds 1, but byali's had to trade things out. And now it's all on jkaem, a 1 versus 3. He does have the bomb. He has the A site, but it's going to be contested as TaZ makes his way in aggressive, just trying to buy time for everyone to rotate through, but it doesn't matter. He finds the frag anyway and takes down jkaem. It's going to be 5-2 as VP take their 3rd in a row.
Yeah, now they're starting to get the economy that we wanted to see with them if they were going to have this map on the bag. That you have pasha finally bringing up that secondary AWP. It does mean that their economy has taken a bit of a hit in terms of how much they have left. It's only about 1,800 as the sort of maximum available. And, well, you look towards the rest of the players on FaZe, it may not matter too much because they've only got some pistols. Now, they have been able to do quite a bit of damage, only dropping a couple of players the last time, but in the past these pistols have been very effective. It is now sort of a different scenario to what we saw in the last map, though. It's not like they're running away with this on the CT side, the favored side. It's likely that they'll have to come with some sort of comeback.
Yeah, that is what it's very, very quickly starting to look like. And, well, I mean, FaZe only 3 rounds behind currently. Once again, on the back foot as a bit of an eco comes underway. Trying to make their way towards A. They haven't had a lot of success here in the past, though, so it's interesting to see them try and do it once again. There was a little bit of tag there just out onto TaZ as he was playing it towards the B side, but that's going to be all it is right now for FaZe. Snax on the site with the AWP in hand, trying to hold this one down. On the other to back him up. 3 players here for FaZe as they go in for what looks like it could be the push. Snax going to open things up though with the AWP, finds that frag, and now it's going to be the man advantage leaning the way of VP. This push has been shut down, and you can see that FaZe are incredibly reluctant to try and go for it. Rain's going to fall, and now it's a 2-man advantage going the way of VP. The players on the site alone can be able to trade into this one favorably, with pasha picking up a frag there with the AWP. It further cements this round on the board for VP. It's going to be another frag, finally gets taken down by allu. That's a 1-on-4, and it was always an impossible situation there.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything to be expected. A bit of money will be made as well for Virtus.Pro as they do keep it relatively clean. In terms of what's coming back for FaZe, this is where they do start needing to get some rounds on the board. If they're going to have any chance of actually resetting the economy of Virtus.Pro, now is the time to begin to do it. As said, they haven't built up anything too crazy just yet. They've got themselves some money off the back of that round, but even still, a player was lost. And, well, allu, he's finally onto the AWP. Gets the challenge versus the double. pasha and Snax both with one in play.
Yeah, aizy going to be picking up that first frag out, and Snax turning the man advantage in favour of the FaZe Lineup. Well, it's going to mean that they also get control of connector for their trouble. TaZ trying to find the return. He does so, puts it back into a 4-on-4. Going to try and get out, and they're not allowing aizy the time to try and pick up the return. And as a result, the numbers are going to equalised on out. FaZe, I think, now looking a little bit stuck for ideas. They lose their presence down in towards B, and once again, they head back up towards A. They keep kind of going for this strategy of, you know, once things aren't going their way, just head towards that A site, but it hasn't been working out for them. Well, this round, hopefully, is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, they need to find something back into this one. Of course, they do have an even standpoint, which does normally favor the T side with their ability to push into the sites. Of course, sometimes it can be quite difficult even to entry onto these sites as it is, because they can be held very passively. And at the moment, although there's a little bit of aggression coming in towards short, it's not too much of an aggressive hold from Virtus.Pro. They're not going to give too much away, and they know that it's not really worth the risk at this stage. There's only 35 seconds left on the clock. Yes, it would be nice to know when the push is coming in, but they're not going to go for anything crazy because they don't want to lose the sort of man position. It is a 4v4. They have the AWP onto pasha. Still aizy. Well, he's that one lurk. He will go pushing in and going to try and get in from behind, but he has been spotted, and TaZ will be able to trade things back. In fact, pasha almost seems to take the bite, but they're going to push back, and I wonder if Neo actually spotted anything there. I'm not sure he is, so it's going to be down to this push coming in right towards the depths. It will be a quick couple of trades, but still the CT's with the advantage, and pasha's just going off. The time has passed. There's nothing allu can do, and he has to scurry for the hills.
Yeah, it's going to be another round on the board for the side of VP. Currently looking to be very dominant here on Overpass. It's going to go 7-2 as they take a very commanding lead. And, well, FaZe, once again, going to be on the back foot a little bit here, having a buy on down. Not going to have much utility to this round. They do have the AWP up on allu, as he was able to save that from the previous round. But 4 AKs across the board, a little bit of utility as well to try and make this work. On the side of VP, however, it is going to be the double AWP setup that we've seen, and plenty of utility to try and hold back the push from FaZe.
Yeah, of course. Already, though, it will be the start that's needed, I think, for FaZe. They get themselves the man advantage. They're going to be able to reduce the defense at least a little bit. The bomb plant in the last round. Well, no, there wasn't a bomb plant, but either way, their money is enough. The AWP has been saved, and, well, already it's going to be a quick couple of trades, but still coming out with the T's on top. They're making things work. Snax coming in from behind, but the shot will be missed. His position is now known. And Neo, well, he may be on the side, he may be able to throw a Molotov out, but it's still going to be very difficult to get back into this, especially with the loss of Snax.
Yeah, definitely so. Now it's all on Neo, 1 versus 3, and that time has been ticking away for quite some time. Doesn't have a kit, and as that smoke raids through, he's actually going to try and go aggressive, but does get caught on the railing. Bit of a questionable play there. Rain's going to find the frag, and it's going to go 7-3 as FaZe, they finally pick up another round.
The interesting thing about that one is if he has his rifle now and you look at their buy, he could have dropped something, and like he could have dropped the rifle for somebody else, and then the buy isn't actually as bad as what we're looking at now. They've still got 2 AWPs in play, so it's not too much of a problem, and actually eventually they get a little bit more on the board. But you had, well, not only 1 rifle, but a second one coming in for Neo, and this is actually a pretty good buy.
Yeah, no, definitely so. I mean, it is a good buy on this side of VP, considering. And, well, I mean, FaZe, they've been able to get a nice bite out of this one too. Plenty of utility to try and make this one work. Snax finds that first frag. aizy as well chimes in with one of his own on the return. Puts it back into a 4-on-4. Snax trying to make things work with the AWP in hand over towards mid. Still watching cautiously as ever. So I don't know where to find anyone just yet, but allu's going to be near enough that he might be walking into the firing line sometime soon.
Yeah, of course. The trade doesn't actually work too badly, of course, for the CT side, because they had a couple of players on pistols, so every time that they take someone down, it's almost as if they're evening things back up. The only problem is now allu gets away with a frag without any opportunity for a trade. That's going to be one of the AWPs as well, which allu will be able to pick things back up. Byali is going to go for that push in, trying to take one down. A nice shot with the D will even grab himself an AK and can't get away with it. kio is quickly there to trade things back. 3 versus 2. The T's, they want to get themselves this 4th round on the board and look to push things forward, but this will be the moment. And well, there you go, Rain once again pushing through, finding that frag onto Snax, and that's it. Done and dusted. 4th round on the board. Well, VP, you're on an eco.
Yeah, and it's going to bode very, very well for the side of FaZe. I mean, it's going to mean that they should hopefully be able to pick up a 5th. VP being on the back foot for the first time, in a vulnerable position that we've seen them in quite some time. It was looking to be a very formidable front coming in early on from them. But now, I mean, they are looking a little bit more fragile. FaZe have started to pick up the momentum, and now they have the economy as well. VP completely just giving into the eco on this one. 2 P250s brought up. Other than that, Oosps across the board. And well, Neo in towards the B site. And Snax going aggressive early on. Might be able to yield them some information and potentially some opening frags here.
Yeah, it's one of those positions where they don't really have a choice. Snax, oh, come on, no check from aizy, and aizy's a kill. 1500 added in, of course he's the AWPer for the team, so that's going to have huge value for him, and also grabs an AK, and well, they're going for a bit of a cheeky boost. He's going to get another. Starting to be a bit costly now for FaZe. They can't afford to give too much away, and with 2 AWPs in play towards the latter stage of the round, maybe there's a chance for these pistols to do a bit of damage. Of course, it is looking like pasha will be able to retain a UMP, which of course is great against armor. The only problem is the aim punch. We will lose TaZ as well in the meantime, but he doesn't have anything that was really worth losing. It's the rest of the players you have to look towards, and well, in this position at least, it looks like Snax just going to try and hold for an exit frag.
Yeah, well, they are in a 3-on-3 on the back of a pistol as well, which is less than ideal. They do have the AK for their trouble, so Snax trying to find something there. byali just waiting for these players to rotate up towards this A site as the bomb goes off in towards B. Might be able to find 1 frag here or there. But FaZe only very cautious, not wanting to give anything the way of VP.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to give anything over to those Virtus.Pro players because they will take it and they will run with it. In terms of an AWP, they're not actually going to opt to go for it. Now, it does look like they could have afforded one on Snax, but he's decided to just buy up on that AK and keep the money into a latter round. So they're looking to try and win this one with the straight-out rifles. Of course, plenty of utility to play with, although still lacking in the Molotov department, which can be quite effective in slowing any B pushes, especially latter in the round. Now, aizy, he's looking to try and take this early aggression. Nice flashbang. Snax has no chance. And that will be the first kill again on the hands of the T side. And, well, they're starting to get themselves rolling a little bit here. Of course, already with 5 rounds on the board, they're going to be feeling pretty confident now.
Yeah, definitely so. And that's the issue. If you start to allow them to feel confident again, we might be seeing the resurgence of FaZe Clan here today. aizy going to find a 2nd frag now. Takes out the head of TaZ. He just peeks over the plywood. It's going to get dropped. And that B site is going to be looking extremely fragile. Only byali there to try and hold down the fort. But FaZe, ignoring that, they are going to be making their way over towards this A site. All 5 players starting to head over in that direction. The long rotate coming in from kio to try and meet up with everyone else. And it's looking like A is going to be the site on the cards. pasha playing aggressively up close with the M4 in hand. And he's waiting on the other side of this smoke. Very close indeed. And well, does he know there's 3 members of FaZe Clan right on the other side.
Already nice spray from Neo, though. Gets himself 2 kills already, bringing it back to a closer position, but it's jkaem who'll quickly trade one back. pasha will be caught with his pants down, and eventually it will just be byali left, trying to rotate back in from behind. He's only got 20-odd seconds to play with, and this is going to be a really troublesome position to come back from. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have any utility other than a single flashbang to try and get himself out towards the site. And in terms of how this half has gone, it seems like VP have just thrown this one away. FaZe looking to get themselves a 6th round on the board already on the T side, and I'm sure they're going to want to get a little more.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, I don't think the FaZe War Machine is ready to stop rolling just yet. It's going to go 7-6, and there's still an opportunity for them to win out the half.
Yeah, no, there really is, and the way things are going, I wouldn't be too surprised if they did. Virtus.Pro have completely fallen off the map in terms of what we were seeing originally. That was quite a few rounds in a row, and then they just slipped back. We were 7-2 just moments before, and the difference these 4 rounds have made have basically sort of set up FaZe to go into that CT half feeling very, very strong. In terms of this round, we've already said Snax, he has that extra money to go for an AWP, and well, the buy that's coming in is definitely an interesting one. We've got 3 scoped rifles ready to sort of fire off and try and take the kills. Of course, the tags can be valuable, especially for the M4, and well, Snax is going to try and play the pinnacle role, and he fails. Allu will take the pick.
Yeah, now it's all on byali, and well, I was hoping to maybe get some hype build up there, but jkaem's going to shut that down before anything can happen. It's all on TaZ, and he falls as well. jkaem finds a second. It's going to get tagged down low. It's the two Scout brothers in the form of pasha and NEO to try and retake the site, and while they're incredibly far away, and they don't have any sort of kit or utility to try and make their way on through, with the exception of the flash on pasha and the decoy if you count it, but you know, yeah, it's going to be looking like FaZe will be picking up their 7th on the board. pasha can find one, and that's going to be another gun into the hands of VP to save it in the next round, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, they're scouted this round.
What? I really just didn't understand the joke you just said. Sorry, that was
because they both got scouts.
Right, yeah, no, I guess.
It rhymes with out.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty much it. It was a terrible pun. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Either way, it is just...
I just looked at you in disgust. I'm sorry.
I'm used to that, right? That's all Ryan really gives me. Just horrible looks of what on earth are you doing? Either way, it has fallen apart. jkaem with a nice couple of entry kills onto the site, and their money is booming. It's not going to matter. Auto sniper brought up for range, so possibly going to go for something a little bit in this one. And in terms of the buy coming up for VP, yes, they've got a few rifles to play with, one of them at least being saved. And while NEO, he's going to have to go for a mag, while TaZ, he just has himself a UMP.
Yeah, this is it, the last round of the first half, and FaZe been very dominant so far, but Snax putting the home early on, takes down jkaem, someone who's been quite a key player for the side of FaZe Clan, over towards the long area, and you can already see FaZe rotating everyone out from the you know, kind of mid section of the map, and instead looking to try and put some pressure towards B. Now actually, because I've said that, they're going to go completely against it, and now make their way back through Park, over towards Party and Long to try and exert some pressure out in towards mid.
Yeah, of course, looking towards the CT side, they now have that man advantage, which definitely helps in terms of the buy they have. Snax taking a fairly aggressive position, and maybe able to catch out allu if he goes for a peek. Now, you'd expect that he would check all of the angles, or you'd hope he would, but it doesn't matter. pasha's going to be the one to find the kill a little bit further back. In the meantime, there is a bit of a push coming in. Snax has to be very careful from behind, as he has got a player pushing up alongside him. Oh, he's now going to be the one flanking. Is he going to go for his second knife? It looks like he is. He doesn't even need the money. He doesn't need it. It's the last round, and he's still going to go for it. Wants to just punish anything that happens at this point. Snax will catch on with the AWP. He's on 1 health, and while it doesn't matter, pasha will finish as he started and take down kio.
Yeah, VP, they just finished it out by winning the half. A 1-round advantage as we head into the second half. But I mean, FaZe Clan, they had a really nice resurgence there midway through. They took 5 in a row off of the back of VP, and then VP were able to come through at the end to just pick up that last round. There you go, the replay of the knife kill from Snax, just being a, I don't know, I can think of anything PG-13 enough to say. So yeah, it's going to be 8-7 as we are heading into the second half now. Pistol round well and truly underway, and VP trying to make their way up through mid early on.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the Molotov will be used for. I think it's probably for after plants, if they plant it over towards A and just fall back and try and basically play off that. I think it could be a good way for them to actually take the round. But of course they have to get there, and first they have to go through rain, and well, they'll make that one look easy. He barely gets anything done. allu will play in a bit of an off angle. Now in terms of utility, it's only NEO with the smoke. It could be used here to actually get them a little bit further down. In fact, he's going to use the Molotov onto the site. Now that's a bit of an interesting point. I'm not really sure whether there was much value. allu, he's in behind, and he's got so many 3 kills. Brings it back, so it's possible, but it's only kio left. He's still versus 2. And that off angle, well, that paid more than it should have.
Yeah, but ultimately it is going to go the way of VP. allu picks up 3 huge frags, like you say. It was looking like it could have been incredibly good there for FaZe, but ultimately VP, they do come out on top, and they take the first pistol round in the second half under their belts straight off the bat. There's a nice little replay of that 3K. They didn't check the angle, and as a result, he exploited it and almost put that round away there for FaZe.
Yeah, he gets 3 nice kills, but unfortunately it's not enough for them to win the round. They will be back going with the pistols once again. Of course, VP, well, I remember Henry was saying along the lines of they have a very good B execute, or they did a few months ago, and it hasn't been something that they've really utilized too much. They haven't actually played that much Overpass in the grand scheme of things. Nice shot from aizy will open up the round, but in WSG at least, they did not show that execute off. They got destroyed by .Rusher on this map, and well, I want to see whether or not they can change things on their T side. So far, not so good, as TaZ is lost to the dig of aizy, and well, NEO's now going to go looking, sneaking around that connection point to try and find the man who took his friend. Unfortunately, aizy has already switched around, and well, byali's going to be the one to spot him out next.
Yeah, Neo becoming some weird sort of Liam Neeson, according to you, as he goes on the hunt for the man who took his daughter. It's going to be a 9-7 scoreline
if
currently.
your daughter looks like TaZ.
No, I hope mine would. I don't know who I would hope mine would look like. But regardless, it's going to be a. Currently, allu trying to come in from behind, and well, no one's going to be able to spot this out just yet. Pasha could potentially get caught throwing the smokes into the site. They hear it coming in, and well, I don't think they're going to be ready for allu to be this aggressive, this close behind them. Snax going to find 2 frags there. Jacob and Keo both full, but allu chumming in with the return flag, takes down Pasha. The kill's going back and forth, and in the blink of an eye, it's all on allu. 1 versus 2. Bomb's going to go down. He fails at picking up the AK. He's going to get tagged down low in the process, and then finished off by byali with the MAC-10.
There's still a little bit of damage done, of course, to the Virtus.Pro economy, but we know that going into this round, there's not going to be too much for FaZe to play with. Mainly just USPs, possibly a flash or something along those lines, but I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy. And in fact, they're going a straight save. Nothing invested into this round, so really want to get whatever they can in the next. All nades will be bought up, everything they can, and an AWP is likely to be in the hands of allu, and well, Snax having a field day. He's actually only going to get 1. He does most of the damage, but his team is there to steal all the frags away. It doesn't give that MAC-10 too much hope.
Yeah, it would have been good for him to farm up some cash, but I mean, he does get 1 frag. That's $600 at least. And looking like he might want to keep it up into this round. Now, going to be buying the AWP, which does make perfect sense. It would have just been great to see them keep going with the MAC-10. We've got the AWP up on allu as well to try and counter-snipe the likes of Snax. We're only heading to round number 19. 4 rifles on the side of FaZe. A good bit of utility, maybe a little bit less than they would have liked. Try and see them through.
Yeah, it is going to really stump their stopping power, so you can already see a fairly aggressive standpoint at the moment in time. You've got aggressive peek coming out from allu. Of course, it's a boosted spot where you can quickly fall back if necessary. In terms of Rain, he's also just playing aggressive over towards toilets, trying to hold down that angle before they can get anywhere near the A site. In terms of B, well, things have got a little bit out of hand. aizy has gone all the way through Monster and come out the back towards T-spawn, so they have a lot of map control, and they should have a good idea where this push is coming in based off elimination. The only problem is now they're going towards Rain, and he will spot 1. It's going to leave allu to try and repeat this. If he can find another frag, that would be great for his team, but in fact he's going to be lost, and that's Pasha stepping up. aizy, well, this flank, the timing may just not be there for him. He has to get it relatively soon. Of course, Snax, he actually doesn't know the opposition are there. The problem is, oh, aizy changed his mind. I thought he was going to go in the wrong direction. Stop changing your mind, aizy. You had it right the second time. Actually, we'll go back towards Snax. Now, the bomb is pushing up long. That's the big problem. If Snax had been dropped earlier with the bomb, then maybe something could have come in. The only other thing is, look at byali at the moment. He's gone all the way through B, so it's almost like map control has been countered by either player. Neither of the teams really know where every other player is, and well, it's going to be a hit onto the A side with a flank coming through B.
Yeah, and with only Jacob, and going to try and hold this one down. Jacob finds 2, and Keo finds the 3rd, so it's going to get completely demolished. byali on the lurk, coming in extremely late. Only 9 seconds left to try and make something happen. And it's that time and taking down. He's able to get 1 frag, but that's going to be it. Won't have enough time to go and get the bomb, and he's just going to have to retreat, try and hold on to the AK into the next round. Ultimately, yeah, maybe a little bit slow on the back of byali.
That is one of the weirdest things I've seen. Like, byali's position was absolutely perfect. Even if he made noise, you have to remember, if he makes noise and they do turn around to fight him, that gives his teammates a better chance to almost just push onto the side. But instead, they just basically run out towards the players and give Jacob and Keo aim jewels that favor them. That makes no sense. You don't do that against FaZe. So not taking their advantage in this round, well, they've had enough. They've sped things up. They've taken the first frag. It will be quickly traded out by Keo, and well, it leaves them in a position where they can bring this round back. Of course, they do have aizy onto the site, and the rotation already comes in from Jacob as well to help them out overall. But in terms of the T's, they've slowed things right down. They've taken that pick. They're going to roll with it.
Yeah, they've been able to equalize things back out to a 4-on-4, but VP looking to try and make their way through in towards this B site. TaZ over on short, and one of the two players way out long. aizy going to want to try and hold it back. Does do a lot of damage, but he's going to get taken down as Neo finds him with the AK in hand. Puts it into a 3-on-3, but Keo is still very much alive and kicking inside of the B site here, ready and waiting to try and deny the plant, but Neo does find him. Rain is there to return things back in from heaven. The rotate coming in as Jacob Makes his way along over through Graffiti. Rain going to find the first, looking for the second as well, and takes him down. Neo falls, and the defuse is going to be coming underway for FaZe. So it's going to go 11-9. FaZe pick up a 9 on the board.
Yeah, no, big performance coming in from jkaem at the moment, actually. He's really been one of the pinnacle players in this map. It's sort of switched around. Rain has been doing well in this round at least, coming up big, but they're definitely looking to see if they can continue this onwards. Of course, kio starting off in this round, and well, we look at the overall scoreboard. It is jkaem currently at the top on his team. Of course, on the other side of things, things are a little bit interesting. We've got TaZ and byali quite far behind the rest of the team, whereas you see pasha, he's having a great performance, and it is the two AWPers for this team at the moment that are really bringing things home.
Yeah, definitely. So, only seeing a double up set up on the side of FaZe Clan, though. Allu and aizy to run the similar setup that we saw previously. aizy going to find the first off of that boost, and that's going to allow him to just kind of take a peg out of this push. You can see VP now doubling on back. They want to be trying to head on through. Instead, they're going to try and find some sort of return frag, some sort of a consolation here to put it back into a 4-on-4 before they dedicate to this push in the B site. Also, next to that boost, they got a lot of information as to the whereabouts of VP. They saw that there were other players coming on through, and that's why VP now slowed it on down. They're worried that FaZe have rotated players in towards this B site accordingly, and may even look to try and head up towards mid.
Of course, this force buy from VP is a very sketchy one, to say the least. They know that they did at least some damage in the last round, so trying to reset FaZe straight back again, but I'm not sure this was the way to do it. Of course, their economy has taken a nasty hit since the last few rounds, and well, this is their way to try and deal with it. 50 seconds left on the clock. The smokes will go out onto the A side. Of course, they're already limited to players, and there's 3 players currently waiting for them to push back in. Rain will even rotate in before they get onto the site, and they've got so many counter aces throughout that things are going to be nigh on impossible. Rain once again starting things off and leaving just 3 players to try and push in, and while jkaem, he's going to go aggressive, actually misses, and it's pasha with the headshot of the scout. That actually takes him down. Unfortunately, that may just be one and done. Snax will grab another at least, but it's not going to be anything that really hurts FaZe too much, as now it's VP once again with little money to spare.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, they need to try and get another buy on the cards. They've been forcing up to try and keep the pressure on FaZe, but it just hasn't been working. FaZe are in a very good place now to keep going with this momentum. VP are going to be on the back foot once again, and this is going to allow it potentially to find the equalizing round, take it to 11-11.
Yeah, no, this is a great opportunity for them now. After VP seemed to get that start onto the T side, it seems that FaZe have now got into a bit of a rhythm, and in terms of being on the favored side, having the money to do whatever they want, it definitely looks good. Of course, the 2 players who died in the last round are going to pick up some SMGs and farm up a little bit of cash, mainly jkaem doing that, getting $1,200 already. aizy has to be careful though. That could be an AWP into the hands of byali, which is definitely something to play with in this round. And, well, in fact, Neo's going to grab another one, so maybe there is some potential for the T side to do a little bit more damage than was ever expected.
Yeah, we've got the AWP up on byali, and to make something happen with that as he looks in towards short here on the other side of the smoke, primed and ready. Like he wants to try and go with some aggression here, and I mean, the bomb currently isn't in a very good position for them to try and hold on to this. It is going to be down. The CTs are very much in control of this situation. Neo trying to go for the flank through Monster to come in from behind and make his way to the 2 FaZe players towards short, slowly but surely trying to creep on through. Rain and kio here to try and hold this back. Gonna find the first frag out on a Rain. Now gotta still worry about kio playing a close angle with the MP9. No armor up on Neo, so things were bad from the beginning. He's gonna get taken down. It's gonna go 11-11, and FaZe, they're gonna equalize things out.
Yeah, it does seem that the T's did enough in that round, though. You have to remember that the FaZe economy, other than allu just sitting there as the sugar daddy, everybody else is low on cash. So to drop 3 players with pistols is definitely going to help them out going into this one. Now pasha and Snax will be back on their dual AWP setup. pasha doesn't have any head armor or utility, so he does have to skimp a little bit. But other than that, it is looking pretty good for VP in this round. Of course, they've been losing a lot of early picks, so have to be a little bit more careful. Wait to see whether or not they can bring this through. aizy with the aggression. Again, it's going to be early picks galore for FaZe as allu grabs one more, and, well, Rain in a decent position to hold this down, grabs the extra frag, and while this is already problematic, it will be a trade at least. Neo, he's picked up the secondary AWP off the body of Snax, and either way, they've got to try and pick their way back through this one.
Yeah, Neo and pasha, 2 AWPers for the side of VP to try and hold them back into it. Looking out towards long, finds one into allu up in the self boost on top of the flower beds, and Puts it back into a 2-on-3. Now only one man advantage leading the way of FaZe. They have to rotate kio off of that B site and up towards A to compensate for the death of allu. jkaem has gone very aggressive in towards toilets. He's in a great place to try and dispatch both pasha and NEO potentially. But the issue is he has very little information as to the whereabouts of pasha.
Yeah, they have got this back a little bit closer. 35 seconds left on the clock, so maybe they've got an opportunity. The problem is they have to get kio out of position. Molotov will not reach him. We will actually be able to push players back on the stairs, but he's still spamming away. 25 seconds left on the clock as jkaem will have one. It is down to just pasha, but he's got to get this bomb down, and he's surrounded from 2 different angles. aizy, if he gets picked here, there is an opportunity, and he's actually going to go for the plant, but doesn't spot the head of aizy, who will take him down. So again, another round. One of the AWPs at least will be saved into the next, and you have to remember, allu has plenty of cash anyway if they want to go for a double.
Yeah, I mean, allu has $9,000 now after dropping for someone on his team. Then he buys up the AWP, and despite investing $10,000 into this round, still has $1,900 left. So he was on an incredible amount of money. I don't know if he inherited it or something, but he was doing incredibly well regardless in terms of his economic situation. It's going to be 11-12. Now as FaZe, they take the lead off of VP, and VP once again are going to be on the back foot, having a force buy up into round number 24.
Yeah, again, this is Virtus.Pro's money sort of biting them, and they have to try and fight back from this position. aizy is going to be ready with that secondary AWP. They do buy it up in the end, as you said. allu with so much cash that it doesn't hurt them too much, but have been a lot of losses. Rain, pure aggression coming out already, finds out where this push is going and leaves it down. And wow, that is so quick. aizy, allu combine, Rain in from behind as well. And that's already a 13th now on the board for FaZe as they start stringing them together.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is there's been a few key players on the side of VP, but it has somewhat felt like a 3 versus 5 game. When you look, if we could bring up the scoreboard, when you look at for the side of FaZe, it's extremely balanced. All the kills are kind of quite close together. Then you look at VP, there's 3 standout players in the form of Snax, NEO, and pasha, but byali and TaZ, they just haven't shown up. 9 and 10 frags between them.
Yeah, and in terms of byali, that's the most worrying factor because he is the entry fragger for this team. He's the one that's meant to open up the sides. And when they have been playing good recently, a lot of it has been down to him stepping up big. Of course, Snax, another huge factor as well, but he's been doing all right in this game. Not anything to really idle at just yet, as they are not winning this map at the moment. And then you look at the other problem. In the 3 rounds they've got have been off the back of the pistol, and other than that, it's been 6 rounds in a row for FaZe. So they really are driving this one home at the moment, and something needs to change for the Poles, otherwise they're about to lose not only 2 games, but also they've only lost 1 so far, so other than the other one that was against FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe right now have been counteracting these strategies of VP extremely well, but this round looks to be a little bit different. Kia's going to be falling in towards that B site, and well, with no one there to return it just yet, it's all going to be on allu towards A toilets to try and make this work. VP looking to be a little bit curious as to what A might hold in store, and allu, well, he's going to be able to find that shot out under Snax. Does he know that TaZ is also close on the other side of the toilet wall? Sorry, meanwhile out towards long, pasha does find one on a Rain. Those muscles to use, takes him down and puts it back into a 3-on-4 with the man advantage going the way of VP. Continues the aggression, finds another frag out into allu. 2 frags to his name now. He's going to push up through the smoke, does get tagged down low in the process. And now it's jkaem and aizy, 2 versus 4, but they continue the aggression, they keep going for it. NEO's going to find a frag, and now it's all on jkaem.
Yeah, once again, some plays that you do have to question there from aizy. Doesn't wait for his teammate, just tries to take things down all on his own. In terms of their money, they will have enough for one more buy, but then, well, you never know. This could be the opportunity for VP to break them back. At the same time, VP themselves are going to take a huge hit in economy if they had to lose this one. Luckily, they keep that one relatively clean, so they don't have to buy up too much at all. And in terms of their money, they do have enough to get another buy, or at least a relatively good buy in the next round, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We will see the smoke go down early towards Monster, but TaZ is already pushing around the water position as they take map control.
Yeah, VP currently sending players in towards B like they have done previously. They're trying to exert some pressure down there. Then they also grab control the connector and then rotate up through it for fluid plays between either site. And it's been a very good situation for them to be in currently. aizy trying to spot out anyone going aggressive over towards short early on, and he doesn't because, well, they know byali is already there, ready and waiting beneath the plywood in by the water. And well, now these smokes and flashes making their way out long, trying to secure some presence there. They do so. It's going to go completely uncontested as Rain, the player who was watching long, started to fall on back over towards Swap.
Yeah, already we do look towards these CT players. In terms of utility, they do have a little bit to spare. aizy has himself the Molotov, and he's going to be the main player that we want to look towards at the moment. Rain spamming away in the smoke, and allu, well, he's still taking a relatively aggressive angle, maybe be able to catch somebody out. Of course, they are pushing slowly into his direction. Will Snax expect it? Seems that he will, but a little bit too slow with the reactions. Nice shot from allu. Grabs himself the second player. And in the meantime, we'll see kio find the lurker on the remaining site. allu again stepping up big, and this leaves TaZ to trade him out. At least that'll be something, but they've only got 22 seconds left to get onto the site and try and get this plant down. jkaem, well, he's still holding in the get right spot, just holding in the corner, ready to try and find one frag, and he will. The bomb's in the corner. There's no chance for pasha in this round, and jkaem will finish him off too. 14-12, and once again, Virtus.Pro's economy is going to be taking a big hit.
Yeah, enough money to try and scrape something together, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see them do that. They don't want to try forcing the overtime in this situation. It'll look back at the kills there gained by allu. It's going to be 12-14 now, and the force buy on the cards from VP. They have 3 AKs to try and work with. A deagle up on Snax and a P250 on Neo. A little bit of mid-aggression early on. Rain's going to find that first frag, though, and that's a very early man advantage going the way of FaZe on a round where VP were already on the back foot. Rain continuing this aggression, going to be pushing up through mid. TaZ is there to get the return frag, and there we go now. It's going to be a 4-on-4. allu in towards toilets. Does hear a little bit of a ruckus in towards the connector. byali is on the other side of the door. Well, does he know? But making his way up through toilets. Neo's going to get caught out and taken down. It's going to be a 4-on-3 now, and the bomb down in toilets as well. The rotate already underway from the side of FaZe, converging on the position of the bomb like a moth to a flame. Leaving this now all on Snax and TaZ in a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, and they really need this round, otherwise we are going to go towards that 15, and then even the money is not going to be good enough for Virtus.Pro to get anything on the board, so they need this round more than ever. 55 seconds left on the clock. allu is going to be waiting around the edge of the smoke, and the timing works out. He catches Snax, leaving just TaZ to try and clutch this one out. He has the bomb in his hands. That's the only real favorable position he has, and, well, jkaem will take him down without taking a point of damage. 15-12 VP. They may be just about out of this one.
Yeah, VP looking to be in a very vulnerable position indeed. 12-15 currently, 3 rounds between them and FaZe. It's not impossible for them to try and come back to it, but they have to try and stave off 3 match points and start it off on a force buy.
I was wondering if we'd see just an aggressive push towards the B site. It does seem they're taking connector control, and, well, the bomb is already all the way over towards B. That smoke has a gap in it, but it doesn't matter. Snax is going to be able to find the first kill, leaving aizy somewhat alone on the site. Sprays away, only manages to get one, does a lot of damage to a second, and now jkaem, he has rotated in, finds the headshot. Nice shot there, but byali again, quick to trade the frags, and, well, now we look towards Rain, we look towards allu, and, well, mainly I want to look towards Rain. He is the clutch master, someone who we expect to be doing incredible things. We saw it in the last map, and he's going to try and do it again. Of course, allu with the AWP, but Rain has already found one. The aggressive push from Snax, but it is all down to Rain, and he gets all 3, finishing this map just like he finished the last. 3 kills for Rain, and FaZe, they get a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, both ends to both games were all Rain. 1 versus 4 last time on Trade, 1 versus 3 now here on Overpass, and just what an incredible performance, what an incredible display of skill even from FaZe. That was honestly insane. And while VP, sadly they couldn't bring it back, it was looking like they were going to be able to, but then it all fell short at the last hurdle, and we're going to be seeing FaZe taking that in a 16-12 fashion.
Yeah, really strong start from VP, and then everything just seemed to fall apart from there, and the amount of T rounds that came in for FaZe was definitely enough to get them over the line. They end up stringing quite a few together on that CT side after the pistol goes away of the poles, and after that point it was, what, 6, maybe 7 rounds in a row for FaZe, and when it got to there, you sort of thought that things were over. They win 1 round and then VP get instantly reset, and that was right at the end. If you lose your economy, your loss bonus, everything towards the end of the map, you basically have to win with just pistols, and it didn't work out. They came really damn close in that last round. Rain had to pull off a 3K back into the site, but that's just what Rain does, or at least in this series, at least against Virtus.Pro. And I'm guessing jkaem's about to make a bit of a snobby tweet. Either way, it looks like we're going to go to a short break, and then we will be back with a little bit of analysis either way.